morning, everyone. It's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. For those of you who are new to my channel, I just somebody questioned me once before about why I do 2 readings in the morning. Well, first, if I do 1 reading, I could pull a reading apart. I could do it for an hour, but I'm sure you don't want to sit through that. So I try to keep the readings sort of reasonably short. And that sort of comes from when I first started too, because I couldn't have videos over 15 minutes. But anyway, what I started to do was I started to find that the readings, because they're so specific, and I read only one story, I don't read a lot of different energies. I sort of go with the most predominant energy and let spirit lead me into the reading. And what happened was I found sometimes I would be doing readings and I'd think that's a little bit sort of, you know, for one person, and maybe I'll do another reading and see if I can get something different for another. So I started doing a second reading, but as I learned, Spirit has other ideas. So sometimes the second reading is exactly the same. Sometimes the cards will all be the same. Sometimes the energy will all be the same. Sometimes I get a completely different reading with the bonus read. Sometimes I get the continuous story. So it almost picks up from where I last finished off. So I do 2 readings just to do that. And occasionally the second reading is almost exactly the same as the first one and has nearly every card the same. So I think in a card deck that deep that's pretty phenomenal when I'm only drawing 10 cards. So I have at times done a third reading just to see, and the third reading has been exactly the same again, which says to me the universe has more intentions about getting that message out to someone. So when I do a reading, I believe that the reading is getting to the people who need to hear it most on that day. And I always say to people, we are part of a collective. You are not the only person in the universe, but if you were, a personal reading would be better for you. So what we're doing as readers when we read is we're picking up on what are the general energies. And the most amazing thing is, you know, I've gone off from here after I've done my readings, which I do first thing, and I'll watch another reading by another reader and they will pick up on exactly the same energies. Their reading will almost be word for mine, maybe card for card. And I have people writing to me and saying, I drew exactly the same cards this morning. So the energies when they come through are very, very strong. So I do an extra reading for the people that the first reading didn't resonate with, but I can't promise that this reading will give me something different. I am using the Tarot Mucha for this reading, and I do have the Queen of Swords coming out first. Now the Queen of Swords represents Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. But it's more about her attributes, so don't focus too much on the star sign. This person here wants to have a talk. In fact, she's doing the bring it on face here. Bring it in, bring it on, I want to talk. Can represent a male or a female because you're really looking at the attributes of the card. So this person wants to talk. At the moment their sword is down, so they're not quite ready. They have it almost ready, so that means they're nearly prepared, but they're not quite ready. This person wants to be honest, they want to speak a truth, they want to express themselves, whichever form that takes, whether it's, you know, something they're not happy about or something they want to express in terms of love is irrelevant. This person isn't quite ready. They've still got their sword there waiting. But the sword also means if they're not getting the response they want, they may just turn around and cut you out of their life, because the Queen of Swords can do that. She's pretty brutal when it comes to making that decision. Okay, so behind that we have the Three of Wands. Now the Three of Wands is about manifesting, looking towards the future. What this means is that you're waiting for something to happen here. Now I always say to people, don't stay in this waiting space. Get yourself busy. Get down and dirty. Do what you need to do to get yourself out of the waiting space. Because if you're waiting for someone to make a decision, or you're waiting for someone to speak up about something, you're going to be waiting there for a very long time. You might as well set up camp. Waiting doesn't do it. Have you ever watched a kettle boil? Because I'm telling you now, if you are watching a kettle boil here, you could be waiting a very long time. Or it just seems like a long time. Time is really fluid. So if you're, you know, standing around waiting, it seems to take longer. I do have the Knight of Pentacles coming in. So I want to say to you here, there is someone coming in with an offer, but this is the slowest night of all. This is why you're waiting. This person is being strategic. They are working with their logic. They are working with their energy of, I'm going to take my time because I need to make the right decision here on how I go about this. I want to speak a truth. I want to speak up. I want to tell this person how I'm feeling, but I want to do it in the right way. So I'm going to take my sweet time. And there is a Tower here. Okay. So whatever this truth is that's coming through is going to be a bit of a, maybe it's going to be a shock on both ends here. I have a feeling here somebody's going to express some sort of feelings here. They may be thoughts or ideas because this person may be still in their logical mind. They may not be feeling their feelings at this time. So there seems to be, the Tower sort of implies that there is going to be sort of a bit of a shock for both the speaker and the speakee. You know, sometimes when I see this, I think you might be waiting for someone to come in and you might find out they feel exactly the same way about you as you do about them. And the Tower is there to show you that perhaps, you know, you didn't trust. Maybe you didn't understand this energy. Maybe you didn't see this coming. But there's something here that is going to really knock your balance aside. So the Knight of Swords is here as well. So this person definitely has some sort of information, truth. They want to speak. And it's taking time and you're waiting on them to make a decision. So again, like I said in the What's Cracking reading, you may not know who this person is, but someone's coming forward to express themselves to you. Whether that's someone you know, someone you don't know, someone you've been in some sort of relationship with, could be somebody you're already in a relationship with, but somebody wants to talk here. And I feel that they want to express how they're feeling. Let's keep going. Could be dealing with a magician. Could be dealing with a master manifester. But you're dealing with someone who has or believes now, after their journey, that they have all the tools they need to make an offer here. So you could have been, this is why he's taken so long, or she's taken so long. They've been getting their resources together. They've been moving, trying to either build themselves up financially or build themselves up through developing their own spirituality. But they are getting there because they're coming up as the manifester. Okay, 9 of Wands here. So we're talking about someone who's been through the mill. Someone who sees some sort of future here with the 10 of Cups. Oh, beautiful. And someone who's got their personal strength together. Now, remember, these readings could flip-flop. I could be talking about you here, going to make an offer to someone else. Whoever this is here, they've built up their own personal strength through their pain. And they've not taken their focus off the future. So they understand this is about long-term happiness. But they have really worked their way through a lot of pain here. Could be pain connected with past relationships, could be pain, life pain, childhood pain, but this person's been through a lot of pain to get to where they are. This is why they're manifesting now, because they've cleared away a lot of the energy that was holding them back. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo here, or someone has strong Leo placements. This card tells me they've worked through a lot of their shadow side here. So whoever you're dealing with, the reason they're taking so long is because they want to be this person when they come forward. They want to be this magician. Okay, here's the offer coming through here. Page of Pentacles. Some of you are going to hear from this person very soon. They've seen through the illusion. Someone's dropped the mask here, the ego. Someone's starting to see through the ego. They feel very passionate, very driven to move towards you here. Lot of passion here. This person may have had other options. They may have been looking at their life as, as having other options. They have other opportunities. They have maybe, more than one person in their life, but they are heading towards you here with this passion. So I feel like some of you are going to hear from this person very soon. We do have the Lovers card coming out here. So this person, whoever you're dealing with here would have had a great deal of difficulty making up their mind about this relationship, because they are being driven by spirit to follow their heart here, to understand their feelings over their logic. So a lot of this stuff that they've had to work through is trying to bring their feelings back. You may be dealing with someone, especially with this Magician card, you may have been dealing with someone who's learned how to hide their emotion through their pain. So they may have been very logical thinking. That's why we're getting a lot of Swords energy, because they've been lost in this idea of thinking through the energy rather than feeling. And this person's been through a transformation here, and they're now feeling what's happening to them. So they're able to drop this mask here. They're able to see through the illusions, drop the veil. But they're on their way here, nothing surer. But this Lovers card tells me that this particular love relationship, whatever it is for you, has been guided by the heavens. This isn't, you're meant to be with this person. That's why they've had to go through all this to get to you. That's why it's taking such a long time. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords coming out here, and then I have the Six of Swords. Someone's made a decision here. They're looking towards the future now. I have a feeling it's very similar to the What's Cracking reading this morning. This person is definitely on their way. They are seeing something in front of them. They have started to see through this illusion of life, the ego. I feel that this person's definitely got back in touch with their emotions, and they've had to do this to realize their own passion, their own drive. But I feel that when I see the Lovers card here and the Magician, this person has been really pushed now by the universe. Maybe it's taken too long. Maybe the universe is starting to get impatient. Always when I see the Ace of Wands, I think the universe only pokes a stick at you a few times, and if you don't do it, then they throw the stick at you. So it sort of feels like that sort of energy. It's taken too long. But you know what? With this shutdown, with this quarantine, people have had time to think through things, and have had time to understand their energy, have had time to sort of work through any sort of pains. You can't avoid it when things are quiet. I mean, you could be an alcoholic. I have an alcoholic. I wasn't going to say an alcoholic, but you could be an alcoholic. But you could certainly be a workaholic, which was where I was going. What I was going to say was there's not a lot of pentacles in this reading. So I feel like perhaps somebody has been addicted to something, but they've had to put the addiction down because their feelings have become too overwhelming for them. And we do have the card of walking away. So let's see here what that means. I have the song from Phantom of the Opera going through my head here. And I can't think of the name of it. And I'm trying to go through the words. Just hold on a second. That's all I ask of you. That's what's going through my mind at the moment. If you know that song, if you don't, go and listen to it. It's pounding away. We have the card of walking away here. And this is about letting go and moving on. And I think that's what's happening in this reading here. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. And that's what I picked up in the What's Cracking reading. Not so much in this one. I feel like someone's maybe walking away from another situation to come towards you. Now, it doesn't mean you know this person again. It could be someone brand new, but it's someone you haven't had a relationship with, but someone's decided to move towards you for some reason. They need to tell you how they're feeling. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. She is closing the gate behind her and is walking away to a misty, unknown future. This card upright reveals it could be time for you to make a similar decision. There may be something you're finished with, perhaps a career, a goal, a relationship, or a long-term experience of any kind. The familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options on the open road ahead. In reality, an important new beginning is at hand. This card also indicates that now would be a good time to let go of an old habit, emotional pattern, or false belief. Yes, that's what you've been doing here. Okay. Oh, now I've lost my place. No matter how deeply ingrained a negative pattern may be, You now have the power to release it and move on to a freer, healthier way of thinking and relating to yourself and others. Whether it's in the inner world or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and resources to walk away from the old and forward now. That's why the Magician's coming up here. And I feel like when it's saying here, I think you are waiting on someone who's had to sort of let go of an addiction of some kind. And that could be alcohol or working or another addiction. It really does strongly feel that way here, that someone had to deal with something, but that old beliefs, that old way of being, the old way of doing is no longer serving them. So you're dealing with someone too who may have had to let some things go with these personal issues, with this negative thinking. Whatever it was for them, that's what they're walking away from. And of course we have walking away here. Only you're sailing. Have a great day, everyone.